chose me. I'm a champion, I need some trophies. I can draw the lane, I can shoot the three. I can run 100 yards, I can throw it deep. I ain't choose the gang chose me. I'm a champion, I need some trophies. I can draw the lane, I can shoot the three. I can run 100 yards.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to an Extra Point special edition of the 2022 NFL Draft coverage. I'm LoroAntonio alongside Ben Curse. Sorry we're not getting a lot of people on tonight, which is all good. And let's get the show started here, folks. We're sorry that we are not able to stream our show tonight on the MI6 Facebook page. We're dealing with technical difficulties on that, but at the same time, you can also check us out on YouTube, and if you want to watch that, just click on my channel and also watch it on the MI6 YouTube channel if you want to view the Extra Point tonight. Ben, how are you doing tonight? And you got your mock draft ready. I was kind of making last-minute tweaks to it before we were on air tonight.
Yeah, how you been doing, Loro? It's obviously good to talk about football. I know it's been a while. Obviously, it's exciting to have baseball and basketball playoffs and hockey playoffs getting into full swing. But always love this time of year, draft season. It should be a very interesting draft. Not sure in terms of how to think about it. Don't know a whole lot of names as past years, but I'm going to try to give my mock my best shot and see how I do with this and try to have some fun here.
All right, let's have some fun here. So anyways, we don't have a script for tonight. We're actually going to be winging this, and we're also going to be talking about some news throughout this mock draft. So anyways, hit the lights, and let's get started. So the Jacksonville Jaguars are on our clock, and the decision has been made by us. So with the first pick in the 2022 NFL Draft, I, LoroAntonio, select Evan Neal, offensive tackle from Alabama. And the reason why I want the Jags to get Evan Neal is because you already have Cam Robinson locked up for the next 3 years on the left side. You need a clean right side for Trevor Lawrence. And Evan Neal is my selection at 1 for the Jaguars.
So my first pick for the 2022 NFL Draft is going to be defensive end Trayvon Walker from Georgia. This seems to be the preliminary first-round pick. I know that Aiden Hutchinson was kind of the first guy that was going to be on the board, but it looks like it's going to be more Walker. This guy's a very good 3-4, 4-3 technique. And Jacksonville definitely going to get a huge playmaker with a player like Walker coming from a very good school in Georgia. And, we'll see in terms of how he'd be able to fit in with that defense that hopefully has some things going for them.
And the reason why I say Evan Neal is because I talked about needing a clean right side for Trevor Lawrence. You already have a left tackle in Cam Robinson, and I think that the offensive line of the Jaguars is an issue. And I think that getting Evan Neal, the number 1 from Alabama, I think he would give Trevor Lawrence a clean right side. But I could see where you're going with why you want Trayvon Walker being a Jaguar, and it's also because the Jags also have needs to get a good pass rush and bolster that defensive front.
Absolutely.
So anyways, with the second pick in the 2022 NFL Draft, I, LoroAntonio, have the Detroit Lions selecting Aiden Hutchinson, a defensive end from Michigan.
Yeah, but the second pick from the 2022 NFL Draft, Ben Cruz, have also selected Aiden Hutchinson from Michigan. This is probably the biggest standout defensive player in this draft, and the Lions, obviously, as a rebuilding team, need a boost on their defense, and Hutchinson is definitely going to give that. This essentially been an absolute force from Michigan. knowing essentially how to rush the passer through the run, through the pass, and definitely can be a very good teammate there. And also that Michigan connection going back to where he is from would definitely be pretty cool too.
It is pretty cool. I think that's what the Lions need, but also with their next pick, which we'll get to in a minute, which they have 2 first-round picks. One of their picks is from the Los Angeles Rams, and I have them getting a receiver with that next pick, so we're going to get to that in just a minute here. So, with the 3rd pick in the 2022 NFL Draft, I, LoroAntonio, have the Houston Texans selecting Kayvon Thibodeaux, a defensive end from Oregon, and I think that with Lovie Smith now at the helm at head coach of the Houston Texans, and his approach is defense first, I think that with this pick, I think having a guy like Kayvon Thibodeaux help fill the void of J.J. Watt and Jadeveon Clowney in Houston, it's going to be that new generation of that Houston Texans defense, especially in that front of the football. And having Kayvon Thibodeaux there is going to be a big boost to that Houston Texans defense.
That's a good pick. I've been cruised for the 2022 3rd pick in the 2022 NFL Draft. The Houston Texans are going to be selecting Derek Stingley Jr., cornerback from LSU. I think personally has top 10 potential. Extremely fast, very good off the edge. At corner, and definitely plays it very well. I think the Texans definitely need a lot of help on defense, and I think personally that's one of their needs, and they feel that need getting Stingley at number 3.
That is a great choice for that, but actually I have Derek Stingley Jr. going somewhere else on my mock draft, so you and I will be different on where each player goes here. And like with Derek Stingley Jr., what he would bring to the Houston Texans, I think that he would bring toughness. He would know how to cover man-to-man. He would cover receivers man-to-man. And I think that could be a great fit for that secondary of the Houston Texans if they decide to go that route.
Oh, absolutely. I 100% agree.
Anyways, with the 4th pick in the 2022 NFL Draft, I, LoroAntonio, have the New York Jets selecting Derek Stingley Jr., a defensive back from LSU. I know you already have him off your board. He wasn't off mine yet. And I know that the Jets secondary was an issue last year. And I think that having him in that secondary of the Jets is going to be a nightmare.
Yeah, I mean, I think the Jets obviously need some help defensively. And I think personally that'd be a good pick. With my pick for the New York Jets at 4, my 2022 mock draft, I had the Jets selecting Charles Cross, a tackle from Mississippi State. I think this guy can help big time at tackle. I know there's been a little rumblings out there about possibly Mekhi Becton in a possible draft trade just because of the injury past history. I personally doubt that's going to happen. I think the Jets like Becton. I think it would be very foolish for them to let go. But regardless of the fact is, the Jets still need a lot of offensive line help to protect Zach Wilson. And I think Cross would be a very good, viable fit there for that team.
They could also go receiver. Don't be surprised if the Jets use one of their first-round picks or even both of their first-round picks on offense.
Yeah, I mean, they need for sure a lot of needs, but I think if you're the Jets, you got to find some protection. And there's quite a bit of good, offensive linemen in the first round here.
Anyways, from one New York team to another, this New York team, like the Jets, has 2 first-round picks. And I, LoroAntonio, have the New York Giants with the 5th pick, having them selecting Ike Iwanu, an offensive tackle from NC State, and kind of like how the Jets need offensive tackle help to protect Zach Wilson, the Giants need the same thing for Daniel Jones.
Good pick there. With the number 5 overall pick for the New York Giants at 4 and 13 from last year, the New York Giants will be selecting Evan Neal, a tackle from Alabama. I think this would be a very good move for the New York Giants. Help that tackle department, a place where they've struggled mightily for years, and to give that protection to help for Daniel Jones. Neal definitely could play the inside, he could play the outside, mainly the outside, and I think that's a great place where he can go as the Giants.
If you talk about it here, you know what the what Brian Dable and what his offensive system is going to be. It's going to be more up-tempoed, and his offensive system will be kind of similar to how the Buffalo Bills run the offense. So he's kind of bringing that style of offense to the Giants.
Yeah, we'll see how things go there.
Anyways, you better be ready for this pick. I, LoroAntonio, have the Carolina Panthers with the 6th pick in the 2022 NFL Draft. I have them selecting Kenny Pickett, a quarterback from Pittsburgh. A lot of people think that he will be a Pittsburgh Steeler, but I think that the Panthers need to win now, and I think Sam Darnold's days as the starting quarterback for the Carolina Panthers are numbered, and Kenny Pickett is going to be a difference maker on that Carolina offense. And if you put him with Christian McCaffrey and also in that same offense, boy, that's going to be a good quarterback to running back combination.
Yeah, I really like that pick, Pickett. Going at the board early. There has been rumblings possibly this week that the Panthers have alerted Sam Darnold that they might add a quarterback in this week's draft. And I don't know. I personally think that would be a very good pick for them. At 6 for my pick for the Carolina Panthers, I'm going to go with Akem Ekonwu, offensive tackle for North Carolina State. I think the Panthers need a lot of offensive tackle help. And the way I kind of see in the top 10 here, the Giants, the Jets, I think really that they're going to all take some tackles here in this first round and to help really their quarterbacks get some protection.
Speaking of which, if Kenny Pickett is a Carolina Panther, I expect him to be the starting quarterback for the Carolina Panthers come week 1.
Yeah, I wouldn't doubt it. I wouldn't doubt that at all.
Anyways, with the 7th pick in the 2022 NFL Draft, this pick is from the Chicago Bears. I, LoroAntonio, have the New York Giants selecting George Karlaftis from Purdue University. And not only the Giants need offensive line help, they need help on the defensive side of the ball, and they need to find a way to get to the quarterback better. That was kind of their big weaknesses last year.
Yeah, for me, with the New York Giants, number 7 overall pick, I'm going to pick them getting Kayvon Thibodeau, an edge from Oregon. I think that the Giants have really lacked that edge speed, and Thibodeau obviously is one of the top guys in that department. So I'm going to have him with the Giants in my top 10.
Anyway, I think that could be good too. But if you look at it, Wink Martindale loves to blitz, and if he gets a pass rusher that loves to blitz, then you can watch that. You can watch Wink Martindale build a strong defense for the New York Giants come September.
Oh, definitely, for sure.
Anyways, with the 8th pick in the 2022 NFL Draft, I, LoroAntonio, have the Atlanta Falcons going from one Matt to another. I have them selecting Matt Corral, a quarterback from Ole Miss, and I have him being a Atlanta Falcon because I don't think Marcus Mariota is going to be starting week 1. I think that you get somebody to compete with Mariota, and I think Matt Corral is going to be their guy going forward.
All right. I mean, I definitely could see that. Ben Cruz is going to go for the Falcons at number 8. I'm going to go picking them with Garrett Wilson, Ohio State receiver. I think that Wilson would definitely find a huge void for them at the receiving market to help Marcus Mariota out. And I think that Wilson has top 10, top 15 wide receiver potential, and he's the first wide receiver off of my board.
Well, it's not him that's my first wide receiver off the board. We'll have to get to that in a minute. So basically with this pick coming up here, this pick is from the Denver Broncos, but the Seattle Seahawks have that pick in that trade that sent Russell Wilson to the Denver Broncos. And with the 9th pick in the 2022 NFL Draft, I, Loro, have the Seattle Seahawks selecting Kenyon Green, an offensive guard from Texas A&M. They get an interior offensive lineman first with this pick, so that in the second round they find their franchise quarterback. And I do predict that they are going to draft Desmond Reader out of Cincinnati, and I think that he will beat out Drew Lock to be the starting quarterback for the Seahawks in week 1.
Okay. with my pick not at 9th, is it?
Yeah, pick 9. That pick is the
Seahawks.
It was supposed to be the Denver Broncos selection, but that pick was traded to Seattle for the Russell Wilson deal.
So I think the Seahawks need some quarterback help, despite them getting Geno Smith and Drew Lock. And I think that the Seahawks are going to select Malik Willis from Liberty. I think personally this is a very interesting pick, and I think that I would not rule out possibly Willis going off the board early.
Well, yeah, his draft stock has risen, but if he falls like to the later parts of the round, he could prove to me that he could be a steal of this draft.
No, for sure. I definitely like him a lot.
And I do think he like Pickett, Malik Willis is a day one starter in my book.
Agreed.
Along with him and Matt Corral, I could see at least 4 rookie quarterbacks starting this year, even though that this draft rookie class of quarterbacks is not really that strong. Because I think Reeder is pretty much better than like Sam Howell and Carson Strong. Anyways, I have a trade here with the 10th pick here. The New York Jets have traded the 10th pick to the San Francisco 49ers. And with the 10th pick, well, yeah, before I say my 10th pick here, so I have this trade. I have that pick, the Jets trading that pick to the Niners because I have Deebo Samuel getting traded to the New York Jets.
Wow.
Exchange for this year's first-round pick, next year's first-round pick, and a second-round pick of this year, and then I throw in Denzel Mims and Elijah Moore to the Niners.
Wow. I don't think Deebo is going to get moved, personally. I think that from kind of what I've gathered, it sounds like that the Niners want to stay on to him. So I'm going to go more, Laura, I'm going to go more of kind of you in the past in terms of a lot of guys staying put and kind of going opposite here. And I think Deebo's going to stick around. I don't see much of him. I think that there's been chatter out there, but personally, I think he's going to stay at least for the draft. Maybe after the draft, we'll see. But I think I do agree with you that if there is a team out there that has the best any type of package to pry away a trade for like a Deebo Samuel, I think it is the Jets. For me personally, the Jets will get a receiver. I think they're going to get from USC Drake London. He has a comp to around like Mike Evans. I think London has definitely very interesting traits to his overall game. And I'm going to go with him for the Jets.
And with my pick, and with this trade that I have here, with the 10th pick in the 2022 NFL Draft, the San Francisco 49ers select Christian Watson, a wide receiver from North Dakota State, and he reunites with his buddy Trey Lance.
All right. Let's see.
So, and the reason why I say that is because, you know, Christian Watson played with Trey Lance in North Dakota State, and I think those two would be a good pair together in San Francisco.
Yep.
Anyways,
with the 11th pick in my 2022 mock draft, the Washington Commanders select Kenny Pickett, quarterback from Pittsburgh. I personally think that the Commanders have needed a future quarterback there. They've been looking, they've been trying, and I think Pickett would be a very good piece for the part of their team. So give me Pickett. I really like his traits there, and I'm going to go with him.
With my pick for the Commanders at 11, I, LoroAntonio, have the Washington Commanders selecting. I originally had Devin Lloyd, but now my mind has changed. I have them drafting Kyle Hamilton, defensive back from Notre Dame.
I like that pick a lot. Next pick for me with the 12th pick in the 2022 NFL Draft, I have the Vikings selecting Jermaine Johnson, edge from Florida State. I think that the Vikings have needed some guys to pass the quarterback, pass rush the quarterback, and he'd be a great fit there.
All right. I think that's a good pick here. I could see where you're going with it here, but I have someone else here. I have a linebacker going to the Vikings here. So the 12th pick in the 2022 NFL Draft, I, Laura Antonio, want the Vikings to select Devin Lloyd, linebacker from Utah. And with Anthony Barr kind of getting up there in age, you got to get somebody to kind of help ease his load, if you know what I mean. And having a guy like Devin Lloyd play in the middle, move Anthony Barr to the outside, I think that is going to be a good linebacking core. With him, with Devin Lloyd, Anthony Barr, and Eric Hendricks.
Absolutely.
So anyways, I'm going to go first with this next pick. This pick is from the Cleveland Browns. With the 13th pick in the 2022 NFL Draft, I, Laura, want the Houston Texans to draft Garrett Wilson, a wide receiver from Ohio State, and you give Davis Mills a number 1 receiver.
Yeah, I like that. Who did you pick?
Garrett Wilson, wide receiver from Ohio State.
All right. This might sound very bold for me. I think they're going to go with a defensive player. I'm going to go Jordan Davis. I think Jordan Davis from Georgia, you have him in the middle. You have Stingley on the outside. And now you've seen the Texans kind of cook a little bit on their defense.
That could be a good pick here, but I have Jordan Davis going somewhere else here. So speaking of Jordan Davis, I have with the 14th pick in the 2022 NFL Draft, Laura wants the Baltimore Ravens to select Jordan Davis, a defensive tackle from the defending national champion Georgia Bulldogs. That is a need for the Ravens, getting someone up the middle and clogging the run. And I think that having a guy like Jordan Davis is going to help the Baltimore Ravens big time.
All right, I like that. Now the Ravens, to me, this is a position where I think they're pretty stacked at, but this player I think is going to make this defensive back just absolutely loaded. I'm going with Kyle Hamilton from Notre Dame. You already have Marcus Williams back there, but I think Hamilton I think it's going to be like a no-fly zone type. Hamilton definitely would be very good at this point in spot, and I'm going to go ahead in there.
I can see where you're going with that pick. That's not a bad pick at all here. But anyways, this pick is from the Miami Dolphins, and with the 15th pick in the 2022 NFL Draft, Laura wants the Philadelphia Eagles to select Ahmad Sauce Gardner, defensive back from Cincinnati.
Yes, Sauce Gardner definitely is possibly would be an interesting pick there for me. But I'm going to go with the 15th pick. The Philadelphia Eagles select Jameson Williams from Alabama. I think personally you have that Devontae Smith, Williams on the outside, Jalen Hurts at quarterback from Alabama. You have that connection already there. And, I think that you definitely possess a lot of nightmares. Kind of like the Bengals kind of way with Chase and Higgins and stuff. Just guys definitely that can just present a very big time speed on the outside, and Williams definitely would be that very good pick there.
I could also see him being a fit with the Buffalo Bills. You can also move Gabriel Davis in the slot, which that could potentially happen here. So anyways, with that being said, with the 16th pick in the 2022 NFL Draft, this pick is traded to the Saints via the Indianapolis Colts and the Philadelphia Eagles. The New Orleans Saints select David Ojabo, defensive end from Michigan. He has a torn Achilles who's probably not going to be playing this year. And when he's healthy, I would expect him to be a big contributor to that Saints defense.
Like that. For mine, I'm going to go with the Saints at 16. They had a quarterback. That is Ole Miss Matt Corral. I think Corral definitely could be a very good help there. The Saints are kind of going by an in-house committee at Taysom Hill. Obviously, is one of the guys there, but I think that they got to find their quarterback for the future, and I think Corral for sure would be a very good pick at that one.
That could be. You're absolutely right about that. And Matt Corral definitely could be. You're right about that. And anyways, here we go. We're almost at the pick where we're going to talk about the Patriots here, so get your popcorn ready for that. But anyways, with the 17th pick in the 2022 NFL Draft, my hometown LA Chargers select Drake London, wide receiver from USC, and I say that because That gives Justin Herbert a number one deep threat. Keenan Allen's not getting any younger. You need to move him in the slot. Mike Williams is a number two receiver. And I think that having a receiving core in the Chargers in Drake London and Mike Williams and Keenan Allen, that is going to help Justin Herbert out big time.
You're going to like this pick. This pick is definitely going to raise a lot of great eyeballs. With this pick in the 2022 NFL Draft, the Los Angeles Chargers select Sauce Gardner. He opts for J.C. Jackson, and I personally think that you have a combination of that outside with the way that the Chargers have really loaded up getting Khalil Mack. You have Joey Bosa there. I think Sauce Gardner definitely could be that missing piece they can get from the draft and really just dial in with that defense. I think that would for sure be a home run steal pick for the Chargers.
That could be. But the reason why, like I said, why I want Drake London to be a Charger is because Keenan Allen's not getting any younger. Mike Williams is not a number one. He's a number two. And Jalen Guyton's more of a special teams type of player. And I want Justin Herbert to get his Randy Moss or something like that.
Gotcha.
And Justin Herbert has a good deep ball accuracy, and you need a big, tall receiver to catch those deep balls from Justin Herbert.
Oh, for sure.
And that's why I want Drake London to be a Charger. He's from the area, and I think that he went to USC. He's familiar with SoCal. I don't see him leaving SoCal. Anyways, with the 18th pick in the 2022 NFL Draft, this pick is from the New Orleans Saints. I have the Philadelphia Eagles selecting DeMarvin Leal, a defensive end from Texas A&M. That is another need that's a need that I think the Eagles need to address because they don't have Brandon Graham anymore, and Fletcher Cox is not getting any younger here. You got to find a way to get younger on that side of the football.
So with the Chargers at the 17th pick, the Eagles' 18th pick in the NFL Draft, I think they also go corner, and they select from Washington Trent McDuffie. I think Trent McDuffie is a very good piece. The Eagles have always needed some help in their secondary, and I think that he'd be a good fit there.
I have Sauce Gardner. I think Sauce Gardner would be a great fit for the Philadelphia Eagles there. But anyways, with the 19th pick in the 2022 NFL Draft, I have the New Orleans Saints selecting Andrew Booth Jr., a defensive back from Clemson.
All right, well, I like that a lot. I think the Saints need offensive tackle. You move on from Teron Armstead, and so I'm going to go with, at the 19th pick in the 2022 mock draft, Trevor Penning, an offensive tackle from Northern Iowa. I think that definitely could help out their protection, and obviously in my mock, I have Matt Corral going there, so obviously their future for sure is bright.
I could see where you're going with it here, but the Saints might even go in the second round to get a quarterback, or they just wait till next year if I were them, just because next year's quarterback class is going to be really good with C.J. Stroud and Bryce Young headlining next year's draft class.
Definitely.
Anyways, we're almost at the pick where you and I get to talk about what our New England Patriots are going to be doing here. Anyways, with the 20th pick in the 2022 NFL Draft, Loro, have the Pittsburgh Steelers selecting Malik Willis, quarterback from Liberty. They find their guy, and I think that Malik Willis is a guy that I think Mike Tomlin is a big fan of, and I think that Malik Willis can throw the ball on the run. He can scramble out of the pocket, and I think that I see Malik Willis being kind of like Patrick Mahomes 2.0 or 3.0.
So with my mock draft, I'm going to go with a quarterback as well. I'm going to go with the Steelers getting Desmond Ridder from Cincinnati. I think that would be a home run, great pick for them. I know they want to go more mobile, but Ridder could definitely have both the intangibles to throw on the run and be able to throw. So I'm going to go with Desmond Ridder, and he competes with Mitch Trubisky.
Here's the thing is, if it's Malik Willis or Desmond Reader, I would expect either one to be the starting quarterback for the Pittsburgh Steelers in week 1.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
Anyways, you ready for this pick for our New England Patriots? I'm going to go first here. With the 21st pick in the 2022 NFL Draft, I, Loro, have the New England Patriots drafting Chris Olave, a wide receiver from Ohio State, and you give Mac Jones his number 1 target along with Devontae Parker and Kendrick Bourne and Nelson Aguilar. That's going to be a great receiving core there. But I do think that in order for that to happen, I think the Patriots are definitely going to cut ties with N'Keal Harry.
I love it. I love, as a Ohio State fan, you picking that. But with my pick in the 2022 mock draft, I, Bun Cruz, have the New England Patriots selecting Devin Lloyd, a linebacker from Utah. I think they need to get faster. I know this guy's a little more veteran type. You know, he's been kind of doing that thing. But Belichick just loves defense or offensive line first round. I personally think they're going to go second round. Or, I mean, hopefully we'll see in terms of they go first round. But part of me thinks linebacker, offensive line, cornerback, possibly first round. So I'm going to go Devin Lloyd. This would be a pretty good pick.
The reason why I want Olave is because you got to give Mac Jones his number 1 target. But I also am I'm hoping for John Mechie to be a Patriot, but he's not going to be picked day 1. He's going to be picked probably most likely day 2.
Mm-hmm.
So I think John Mechie will be a Patriot either in the 2nd or 3rd round. I really want John Mechie to be a Patriot, and I still want that to happen.
Same here. I will Mechie too.
But it's not going to happen tomorrow.
Yeah.
I just think that we need to get – I would like receiver like Chris Olave. I think Chris Olave would be a great go-to threat for Mac Jones. And the outside, I just don't think Jacoby Myers is a guy that can run deep routes. He's not very, very shifty. Jacoby Myers is more of a Edelman-type receiver.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
And Hunter Henry is more of a deep threat at tight end, but I could see where you're going with the Devin Lloyd pick because Dante Hightower gone. You need a captain in the middle of that defense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you just need to definitely just have a different like viewpoint of it. I think Lloyd definitely could help a lot and just help just a lot of their needed their linebacking core definitely was very eye-opening towards the end of the season.
But I think Mac Jones is going to continue to get better each. I think he's going to have a great sophomore season.
I do too. That's our hope, right? You know, you feel like the first year he did a very overall pretty good job for what he kind of brought himself into. And obviously just get a little time with the receivers. I think Devontae Parker.
Yeah, he's not wasting any time here because if you look at it, Mac Jones has been doing work with Devontae Parker, Kendrick Bourne, Nelson Aguilar down in Florida. Yeah, he's not wasting any time. We're getting chemistry with those guys.
Mm-hmm.
So he's been doing some good work with those guys, with his receivers down in Florida at his workout facility.
Absolutely.
Anyways, this pick is from the Las Vegas Raiders. The Green Bay Packers acquired that pick when they traded Davante Adams. And Davante Adams is now with his college buddy Derek Carr in Las Vegas, which you could see right on our background right there. And with the 22nd pick in the 2022 NFL Draft, I have the Green Bay Packers selecting. You have this guy off the draft board already. I have them drafting Trayvon Walker, a defensive end from Georgia. I think defensive end is still a need for the Green Bay Packers, and I think they address that with Trayvon Walker.
Wow, so you're going very late for Walker. That's interesting. Okay. With my pick, and you're going to be definitely a little surprised about this one, but with my pick, the Green Bay Packers select the wide receiver Chris Olave. I think personally they still need some help at receiver. You lose Davante Adams. You know, they obviously need just that help, and I think Olave for sure can really help in terms of their receiving core that they have now. You lose Valdez-Scantling, so now you have guys like Randall Cobb. They definitely just have a different mixed field, and I think they have to kind of hit on one of these draft picks, and I think Olave for sure would be the guy.
Yeah, you're right about that in a sense. Like, I think that Chris Olave, he can be that guy, you know? Anyways, now with the 23rd pick in the 2022 NFL draft, Kyler Murray would want to use another outside receiver alongside DeAndre Hopkins. AJ Green's not getting older here. I have the Arizona Cardinals selecting Jameson Williams, wide receiver from Alabama, and Kyler Murray's going to have fun with him.
I like that pick. I Ben Cruz, the 23rd pick in the mock draft, getting Arnold Ebekete, edge rusher from Penn State. I think that helps a lot. You lose Chandler Jones in the offseason, and I think that he would be a good fit there.
He could be, but I could see the Cardinals going offense here just because I think that they need to load up with receivers for Kyler Murray so that he can accurately throw the football down the field.
Agreed.
Anyways, the 24th pick in the 2022 NFL Draft, I have the Dallas Cowboys selecting Devontae Wyatt from the defending national champion Georgia Bulldogs, and he is going to be a good addition to that middle of that defense, and he's going to be a good run stopper.
Oh, agreed for sure. I'm going to go with in the pick now is this 24. The Dallas Cowboys select Zion Johnson from Boston College. I think that they need some help interior-wise to help Dak Prescott, and Johnson's my pick off the board here.
That's a good pick for him here. I mean, I think Johnson, losing Lyle Collins definitely could help fill that void here, and they could go with that pick here. But anyways, I actually have back-to-back Georgia Bulldogs with this pick here. With the 25th pick in the 2022 NFL Draft, the defending AFC East champion Buffalo Bills select Nakobe Dean, a linebacker from Georgia.
Ooh.
I think the Bills definitely could use him to complement Tremaine Edmonds. And although they have Jamison Crowder to go with Gabriel Davis and Stephon Diggs, I'm not ruling out getting another small receiver to complement Josh Allen. But I think that this pick for the Buffalo Bills is going to help their defense significantly.
Okay. For me, the Buffalo Bills, to me, I think need some help with their cornerback market. So with the 25th pick in my mock draft, I have them selecting Andrew Booth, cornerback from Clemson. I think that this would be a great pick for them, and I personally think that Booth is going to be coming off the board in this case, 25.
And you're saying that because he could be a complement to Tre'Davious White.
For sure.
Anyways, with the 26th pick in the 2022 NFL Draft, I have the Tennessee Titans selecting Jahan Dotson, a wide receiver from Penn State, and you complement him with Robert Woods and A.J. Brown. You give Ryan Tannehill another weapon on that offense, and I think that Tennessee's offense is going to be more dynamic, and that you don't want to put pressure on Derrick Henry right away just because he's coming off a major foot injury.
So with my pick in a 2022 mock draft, the Tennessee Titans will be selecting at 26th Nakobe Dean. I personally think that they need some help at linebacker, and I think Dean would fit great in their scheme.
He would fit great in that scheme, but the reason why I want Dotson is because I think that Tennessee would be more dynamic offensively and make Ryan Tannehill more of an efficient passer.
Yeah, I agree.
With the 27th pick here in the 2022 NFL Draft, I have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers selecting Kaiir Elam, a defensive back from Florida. Although that I would like another rookie receiver to play with our guy Tom Brady, Ben. That's not going to be the case. I think they need to kind of help bolster that defense because with Todd Bowles, his approach is defense first.
With the Tampa Bay Buccaneers 27th pick, I am also going to go with that same pick, Kaiir Elam, a very good man-to-man guy. And I personally think that with the Florida connection too, I think that they like that at that spot. I'm going to go with Elam to the Bucs.
Yeah, and I could see the Buccaneers, since they got rid of Ronald Jones. They should get a running back with their next pick. So that way, you can get a runner to complement Leonard Fournette, and then you get a rookie running back to get handoffs from TB12.
Yeah.
Anyways, with the 28th pick in the 2022 NFL Draft, the Green Bay Packers select Traylon Burks, a wide receiver from Arkansas. And with Devontae Adams gone, you need to give Aaron Rodgers a deep threat. And Traylon Burks is going to love playing with Aaron Rodgers.
So my mock draft at 28, the Packers will be selecting David Ajabo, edge rusher from Michigan. I think that the Packers need some help defensively, and I think that he would definitely help them a lot on their defense.
He definitely would be helping a lot on that defense, that's for sure here. I mean, he's hurt, but he might not play this year, like I was saying earlier.
Yep.
Anyways, with the 29th pick in the 2022 NFL Draft, this pick is from the San Francisco 49ers and the Miami Dolphins. I have the Kansas City Chiefs selecting Charles Cross, an offensive tackle from MSU. And Ben, before you go, with the 30th pick in the 2022 NFL Draft, I have the Kansas City Chiefs selecting David Bell, a wide receiver from Purdue. I have the Chiefs addressing their offense early because I think that you need to get protection for Patrick Mahomes. And with Tyreek Hill gone, I like Mecole Hardman and Juju Smith-Schuster and MVS. I just think another receiver in David Bell would be the missing puzzle to get Patrick Mahomes back on track.
All right. Well, my back-to-back pick for the Chiefs, these are going to be two wide receivers, personally. My first wide receiver off the board for the Kansas City Chiefs is going to be Penn State's Jahan Dotson. I think that you lose Tyreek Hill, you need some more speed. But the Chiefs also look at this and say, listen, we want to add some more for Patrick Mahomes. And I think they're going to go after Sky Moore, kind of an all-do-it-all type of receiver from Western Michigan, I believe, the Broncos. And he for sure could kind of be like their Deebo Samuel, like the gadget receiver that they have. And you have between Moore and Dotson and Hardman and Juju, now you'll start to kind of have a lot of type of package to maybe take over some of the loss that Tyreek Hill brings. Obviously, you lose Tyreek Hill, that's obviously a huge, huge, huge piece to fill. But obviously, they're going to try to do their best to try to fill as best they can.
Yeah, and then what about you at 30?
Oh, I have them getting Sky Moore, receiver from Western Michigan. So I have them going double receiver at the end of the first round.
Yeah, with these first two picks, that probably will be the case here. Anyways, let's go to 31 here with the 31st pick in the 2022 NFL Draft. I have the Cincinnati Bengals selecting Tyler Linderbaum, an offensive guard from Iowa, and you continue to beef up that offensive line for Joe Burrow.
My pick at 31 for the Cincinnati Bengals, I have them projecting from Georgia, Quay Walker, linebacker. I personally think that you keep up with that defense. You added a bunch of offensive linemen in the offseason, and I think you'll start to kind of get things rolling on both sides of the football.
That's a pretty good pick right there, that's for sure. But anyways, with the 32nd pick in the 2022 NFL Draft, this pick is from the Los Angeles Rams. The Detroit Lions select George Pickens, a wide receiver from Georgia. And I think that if you look at it here, Ben, I think that the Lions need another receiver too.
Yeah, no, they've been in talks for possibly trying to get a receiver. I really like Pickens. I think Pickens will fall in the second round. But for my last pick in this draft, I'm gonna have to take a little time to think about this. Hold on a second here. I'm gonna go with Christian Watson from North Dakota State. I think that this would be a very intriguing piece for them to kind of finish off their draft, and that's what I'm gonna go with.
That's definitely a good pick here. But anyways, what are your final thoughts, Ben, before we conclude the night here? I mean, I think I'm ready for a really good draft here. And I'm I'm looking forward to what our Patriots going to do here. I mean, you think that John Mechie's going to be a pick for the Patriots at some point in this draft?
Yeah. I think at round 2, you can go with a guy like a Justin Ross, who have been huge from Clemson, or Rondo Robinson, who was a kind of a gadget player from Kentucky. Obviously, Mechie could definitely fall there. David Bell could fall there in the second round. But I think the Patriots definitely are going to fill needs. I have full confidence in that. And I think personally that they're going to finish off with a linebacker, a cornerback, a receiver. And I personally feel that they're going to have a very solid overall draft this year. And I think that this is obviously going to be a good look at for the for the season, but it's going to be a good kind of look for what's hoping to come.
Yeah, I think that's going to be really good there. But anyways, for Ben Kearse, Loro signing off for now. Have a great night and enjoy the draft, and we'll see you again on Sunday for the recap show of the 2022 NFL Draft.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I ain't choose the game chose me. I'm a champion, I need some trophy. I can draw the lane, I can shoot the 3. I can run 100 yards, I can throw it deep. I ain't choose the game chose me. I'm a champion, I need some trophy. I can draw the lane, I can shoot the 3. I can run 100 yards, I can throw it deep.
I got what it take to be a champ. You know ball's life, you should come and join the camp. Title after title, put my rivals off the map. Thought you had the trophy till I came in for the snatch. I was born in it, not sworn in it. I ain't come to play, my wrist mean all business. Running like a mimic, check my jersey authentic. In Oakland with some Raiders till my haters deal with it. I'm in the field with it. Stop playing.
I ain't choose the game chose me. I'm a champion, I need